Hi everyone, and welcome to Murrow Minutes Goes Virtual. My name is Mackenzie Johnson, and I'm the recruitment coordinator for the Murrow College here at Washington State University. And today we want to talk to you about our residential graduate programs that we offer here in our college. We have some great guest speakers here to talk to you about what it's like to be a current student, what it's like once you're here for advising and classes, as well as go over some application deadline and reminders for you here at the end. So I do want to go ahead and introduce our guest speakers for this video today. First with us, we have Dr. Paul Bolls, who is our Associate Dean for the Murrow College, and he's going to be going over a little bit about what our college is about, as well as other resources that you may be interested in as a graduate student here with us. We also have Jeremy Watson, who is part of the Murrow Student Services staff. He will be your academic advisor and our graduate coordinator once you're admitted to either the master's or the PhD program. And finally, we have Alicia Booth, who is here with us as a current student in our PhD program to talk to you a little bit about what it's going to be like once you're here. It's kind of hard to travel to come see us right now, so we thought we'd have her perspective come in and kind of talk a little bit about what we can do for you as a student. So with that, I actually do want to go ahead and turn it over right to our guest speakers to make sure you get the content that you're here for. So with that, I will turn over to Dr. Paul Bolls to talk a little bit about the mission of our college and what we can do for you.
Thank you, Mackenzie. It's such a pleasure to have this opportunity to talk with prospective graduate students. I'm just so privileged to be in this new role as Associate Dean of our graduate program in the Murrow College of Communication, and very excited about the future of our program. This is a program that means a tremendous amount to me at a very deeply personal level, because I'm a graduate of this program myself. In the early 90s, I did my master's degree in what was then the Murrow School of Communication. And we've exploded in growth over the years to where we're now an independent college. And I think that brings some tremendous resources that significantly strengthen a graduate program and just makes it a very exciting time to join our residential graduate program. In terms of just a vision for the college, I think of most importance to graduate education is, I'd say, our goal here in the Murrow College is to equip graduate students with a timely, relevant, and broad-based yet specialized education that prepares them for the future, whatever that future holds. I think now more than ever, it's critically important for graduate students to prepare themselves for a wide range of career options. And that's something we take pride in here in the Murrow College, is the ability to build a graduate program that increases the options for graduate students, that really provides an atmosphere and a culture for you to explore during your graduate education and grow yourself as a scholar, a teacher, and whatever the future is going to hold. We have incredible research areas that we cut across the board. Of course, not every program covers the entire diversity of the discipline of communication research. And so there are areas that are, of course, particularly strong in, such as health communication, science communication, political communication. We also have a historical strength in journalism studies. We're doing some very exciting things in the area of misinformation, disinformation, a very timely topic. And in fact, as Associate Dean of Graduate Studies, one thing I can tell you is that always at the forefront of my mind as Associate Dean of Graduate Studies, as well as the college mission, is that we are at the cutting edge of communication science and communication research, taking a multi-method perspective. And I think that adds a unique richness to graduate education. Also, I think, just in terms of historical strength of the college is our mentoring. We have across the board just faculty mentors who are just strongly dedicated to graduate student success, to fostering the next generation of scholars, whether those are scholars that eventually go on from a master's to a PhD to an academic career, or from a master's to a PhD to industry or nonprofit careers. Our mission is to mentor successful graduate students. And I think here in the Murrow College, you'd find a very caring culture, a very supportive culture, and an inspiring culture. And I think those are really the kind of three words that I'd like to always describe our graduate students' impression of our program is caring, collaborative, and inspiring as we launch the next generation of scholars out there. I welcome any of you to interact with me. I love interacting one-on-one with prospective students, whether you actually end up in our program or pursuing other options. I like to get to know individuals who are just interested in this discipline, the discipline that I have such a high passion for. So I encourage you to check us out, to investigate us further. And I welcome any chance I have to encourage you, to support you in your journey as you're making this very important decision concerning your future and where you might like to pursue graduate education. Thank you, Mackenzie.
Thank you so much, Paul. Really, no one could have said it better. So we are so glad to have you on this video here with us today. Like Paul mentioned, there really is a feeling of the Murrow family here in the Murrow College. We care about each other and we really want to support each other to get to wherever it is you want to be. So I'm glad that you mentioned that. And I'm also glad that, Paul, you mentioned that you like to meet with these prospective students, for students that have questions about our program. So we'll make sure and throw up contact information here at the end of the video so you know who to contact for these questions that you may have at the end. Thanks again, Paul. We really appreciate that. But next, we want to also introduce someone that you'll be working with very closely if you decide to attend our program, if you're admitted to our programs, and that is Jeremy Watson, again, who is our graduate coordinator in Murrow Student Services. So Jeremy, I'll turn it over to you to talk a little bit about your role.
Great, thanks, Mackenzie. Everybody's getting caught with the mutes, you know. Yeah, in my role here, I will be kind of working as that advisor and coordinator. Not an advisor in the sense that that you would, you know, kind of associate with during your undergrad time, where take this class. You know, that'll be more once you get into the program, have a faculty advisor and your committee chair. They'll work with you on the specific classes and stuff that you're going to be taking. But like Paul was saying, you know, our goal here is preparing you for what's next. You know, whether it's going into academia, going into industry, whatever the situation may be. So your focus while you're here is on the academic side, the you know, teaching and filling those roles as instructor of record or TA, and then also the research, you know, which is critical to what we do here. You probably noticed the thing that I didn't say is worrying about deadlines, procedures, admin, stuff like that. You shouldn't have to worry about that. You know, that's not what your focus here is. Your focus is to, you know, build that toolbox to take out wherever you may go. So that's kind of where I will be. You know, I'll run interference for you and kind of be that liaison between the grad school and you, international programs if you're coming from outside the U.S., working some of that piece as well. Just make sure that you have that time to where you can really focus on what you're here for, and that's teaching, research, and academics. Starting out, if you do submit an application, one of the things I can help you out with there, and you'll see later on when Mackenzie talks about kind of the application process, but supplemental material. Most of your application is going to be online. That supplemental material, get questions all the time. Where do I send that? Writing samples, stuff like that. You can just email that directly to me, and I'll get it included in your application for the committee review. Then once you get here, like I said, I'll take care of all that admin stuff, program of study requests, you know, scheduling your prelims, scheduling your thesis or dissertation defense, making sure all the little admin minutia is taken care of, so it kind of takes that off your plate. For the international students, I'll work kind of in concert with the grad school and international programs, make sure we get your I-20 so we can get visas and actually get you here with us, which can be a struggle at sometimes, especially right now, but we'll work everything we can to get you here for that. Another thing I'll work with, making sure you've got all the required training that you need for assistantships if you're on there, you know, the FERPA requirements and, you know, responsible conduct of research, stuff like that. Just make sure we've got all those requirements set. Alicia is probably going to talk quite a bit more about it as a current student, but just kind of give you a real broad overview of what your requirements here will be. If you come in for the master's program, you're looking at about 27 credits worth of academic coursework, along with 13 plus or minus 13 hours of research and colloquium credit. On the PhD side, the academics bumps up to about 48 credit hours of academic coursework, and then 28 plus or minus, normally plus by the time you get to your dissertation, of research and colloquium. Yeah, so that's that part. The assistantship, if offered an assistantship, just kind of want you to know right off the bat. So for planning purposes, on that, you do have to be here in Pullman to receive that assistantship. But beyond that, I really appreciate the opportunity to talk to you. Look forward to meeting anyone that does decide to join us, and always open for questions. So please don't hesitate to reach out. Thanks, Mackenzie.
Thanks so much, Jeremy. We really appreciate your perspective on that. I know whenever I have questions from students that are contacting me, Jeremy is our go-to person. He knows everything about these programs backwards and forwards, and he will really help with the behind the scenes application things, getting your program of study set up, scheduling anything that you may need, whether it's a dissertation if you're finishing up, or kind of, like I said, going through that process and making sure you can focus on your academics. So thank you so much for sharing that with us today, Jeremy. I also want to take time to make sure that Alicia can talk with us a little bit today about her experience as a current student in our PhD program here in the Murrow College. She's going to talk a little bit about her experience, maybe answer some of the questions that you have as you're going through this process and thinking, you know, is Murrow right for me? So Alicia, I do want to go ahead and turn it over to you to talk a little bit about your experience.
Great, thank you, Mackenzie. Hello, everyone. My name is Alicia Booth, and I'm currently a third-year PhD student here in the Edward R. Murrow College of Communication. I have also completed my master's here back in 2018. I have actually lived in Pullman for 6 years. I didn't originally come to Pullman to pursue a graduate degree. I ended up coming here for a job, and then ended up doing my master's part-time through Murrow. So I did that in 3 years. So if you have questions about the master's, I can answer those for you too. But I was given the opportunity to continue my degree from my master's into my PhD at Murrow. So I am a lifer. If you have any questions about Murrow, I have been through the ins and outs. I obviously love the program dearly, and I have a PowerPoint presentation to kind of hit some of the main points for you here. I want to start with Pullman because having been here for 6 years, I have a lot of experience, obviously, in this small town. I get a lot of pushback, I guess you could say, initially, but Pullman's so small and it's in such a rural area. What is there to do there? And the response that I'm sure Dr. Bolls will appreciate is, you have all this time to research now. But with that in mind, obviously, we are a very close-knit cohort, and I'm actually the current ComGrad president, and the ComGrad group is consistent with a vice president, a treasurer, and a secretary, and we are the elected students that represent you, and we host a lot of different events for you throughout the year in order to kind of continue to foster that Murrow mentality of staying together, collaborating on projects, and you will hear me echo a lot of the things that Dr. Bolls, Jeremy, and Mackenzie have all said today as well. So I'm going to highlight a few of those for you. Where we have a welcome back barbecue every year, except for this year, obviously due to restrictions. But that's a really fun event where we have someone come up and grill, and we have our dean even shows up, and our faculty and staff show up, and people make cookies and bring chips, and we spend 2-3 hours just at one of the parks locally in Pullman and catch up on our summer breaks and our research, and really, you know, get to see each other's families. And it's a wonderful event, and I'm really bummed we didn't get to do it this year, but I'm hoping that next year things will be different and better. And if you choose to come, we'll get to meet you in person and your families as well. We've also gone to football games, cheering on our Cougs. You'll hear the phrase, we bleed crimson. We do, very clearly. You will see this town is so proud of its Cougars. You'll see flags in the streets down Main Street. You will see posters in store windows. We are very proud to be Cougs, and this town is literally founded on the school itself. So you will see that that is one thing that we are very proud of. We've also gone to bowling nights through GPSA, which is the Graduate Professional Student Association. They are different from ComGrad in that ComGrad is a registered student organization and GPSA is different students throughout the entire school within Washington State University. So we have math and engineering, all the other students come together for GPSA, and they represent us as a whole of graduate students. And one of the things that they did last year was a volleyball tournament, which was really fun because we got to interact within our cohort because we were our own team, but then we got to go further as well and meet other students from other departments. And then the last thing that I'll throw in there is we do a holiday party. Murrow was able to do a holiday party a couple of years back, and it was really fun to be able to go to the Alumni Association and interact with the faculty, staff, and the students as well, and just be able to see all the different families come together, especially during that special time of the year. So this is a quick picture of one of our graduate group from last year when we were at that Welcome Back barbecue. You can see faculty, staff, students with their kids. Our dean is over here. And so we had a really great time being able to be together at that point. So we're hoping to get back this upcoming year. I was also asked to talk a bit about my experience with faculty members. They're all wonderful. They all have an open door policy, very approachable. And if you come, you'll be able to meet majority of them because you'll have to attend colloquium, which is Com 500. And that is an opportunity for you to learn about what it's like to submit papers, to interact with faculty members, how to decide about authorship and all those different questions, and kind of help you navigate what it is to be a graduate student. So that will take your first 2 years here. And you also get to hear from the faculty about their research and where they've been published. And then it really helped me be able to narrow down my research interest and focus and figure out what faculty members I should talk to potentially be my advisor and be able to move forward with my dissertation, etc. And I wanted to also highlight that they really encourage collaboration, which I know is one thing that Dr. Bolls mentioned earlier, is that collaboration, so that in your graduate classes, you get to be able to work together on papers, and you also kind of find out, oh, I'm not as good with statistics, but this other person in my cohort is, so we can work together, get that paper published, and not just for that, but be able to increase your skills as well as a graduate student and be better. Going on to research, we are a Research One university, so obviously that is one of the things that is highlighted throughout, and we are very rigorous in that regard. We do apply to a lot of conferences, the two major ones being AJMC and ICA. So if you have questions about any of those, feel free to ask me. I have been accepted to ICA. I didn't get to go to the conference because, again, there's circumstances of this last year, but I'm hopeful that I will have another opportunity in the future because I have that background with the faculty who have encouraged me, who have helped me write my papers, who have helped me make them better. And to get to that point, I'm very excited for the opportunity to continue to pursue my research in those areas as well. And finally, some classes. You'll take a variety of classes as a graduate student. A lot of them will be communication, especially if you're in the communication program, obviously. But you do also have the opportunity to do some electives as well. And I found those to be very interesting. I took a couple in sociology as well as educational psychology, and being able to interact with other graduate students and hear their perspectives and just be able to interact with them in that way. Again, kind of foster that collaboration within not just Murrow, but WSU as well. And then I'll echo what Jeremy said as well regarding opportunities to teach and do research. Depending on assistantship availability that year, you'll either do teaching or research or do a combination of both. And you will have the opportunity, most likely, as you continue throughout your career, to teach independently. And I have loved teaching. That might just be me, but I have loved working with the undergrads because they all come from different backgrounds and different materials and different weeks, and kind of figuring out what style works for me and what my teaching philosophy will be when I graduate, and what my professorship hopefully will look like if offered a position in the next few years as well. So with that, here's a kind of a closing picture of us at our holiday party. I am so in the holiday spirit right now, so I'm hoping that we will get to be able to be all together again in the near future. And if you have any questions, please feel free to email me there and just let me know that you saw this video and you want to know more. Thank you for your time, and I look forward to being in touch with you.
Thank you so much, Alicia, for sharing that. What a great presentation to just talk about what it's like to be a current student. And Alicia is not only friendly and open, but she's just more than available to answer your questions. So if it's not something that I can answer for you, or Paul or Jeremy, always reach out to a current student and say, what is your experience like? What can Murrow do for me? And you can kind of see that, you may not even come for the PhD, but once you get in the master's, you fall in love and you keep on going. So that happens with a lot of our students, and we're really, really excited about that. So thank you so much, Alicia, for sharing that. To kind of close out this video, I do want to share my portion today with you all, and it's a little bit about our application, our deadlines, more of the processes. I do get a lot of questions about that, so I do want to kind of migrate and show you some of the websites that would be really useful to you as a prospective student. The first one that is really important to know is the murrow.wc.edu website. This is your go-to for all information that you need about our graduate programs. And you can find that right under our academics tab, because that's what you're coming for, is academics. And our graduate degrees are listed here. So you can learn about our master's program. You can learn about our PhD program here. And we also talk about the Jackson Fellowship, which is a really awesome opportunity for students looking for additional funding opportunities to attend conferences and do additional research. Then you can also see some of our current graduate students and see what their interests are and their contact information as well. Alicia is on that page, so that's a great place to go. I will go ahead and just show the master's prospective student page. So if we click here, you can see that really we'll talk about the application process, what the prereqs are, really any test scores that you need, recommendations, the personal statement. And like Jeremy said, that supplemental material here, it does say to mail it to the Murrow College, but you can also email it directly to Jeremy and he'll attach that to your application. So we'll try and update that website with that information as well. But really, as you're scrolling through this, as you're getting ready to click this button to apply at the graduate school, which is where our application is housed, you may come across additional questions that you really don't know where to go or who to ask. But really, my name is here. And if you click on this, you'll be directed to shoot me an email directly, but you can also schedule an appointment with me, either a phone or a video appointment by clicking here, which takes you to this website here. And all you do is select the day and the time that you would like some information from me, and I'll connect with you and answer any questions that you have. So I definitely wanted to go over those to show you a little bit about what you can find on our Murrow websites. But another important website to be familiar with is the WSU Graduate School page. So kind of when you're applying to any graduate program, you're applying to the graduate school at Washington State University, as well as the Murrow College. So the Murrow College application is included in the graduate school application, but this is where you'll go to initially apply and select your program of study. They have important deadlines, they have information and contact support staff as well. So if you have questions about the application, you can certainly reach out to the graduate school as well. We also have information about our international students as well. So if you go to our international student page, all of the recommendations and all of the requirements that you need to apply are listed here. So really all the information that you need is online, but we do know it's important to connect face-to-face. So we are happy to do that either as the recruitment coordinator with me. You can talk with Alicia, Jeremy, or Paul, and we'd be happy to get you on the right path to kind of showcase our program and talk about what Murrow can do for you. So with that, I think what we'll do here is go ahead and close out our video, but really here at the end, we'll throw up some contact information again, my contact information, as well as Paul, Jeremy, and Alicia, so you can get in contact with us with any additional questions that you have. Please, please, please reach out to us. We're very accessible and very excited to have you interested here in our programs. And with that, I think we'll go ahead and close out by saying, as always, stay safe, stay healthy, and go Cougs.